Did you know that Star Wars RPG has Clone Wars era sourcebooks? At the moment, these are going to run you about $45 each. So what's inside of them, and are they worth the cost? Welcome to the Tabletop Empire. My name is Nate. Today we're going to take a look at the rise of the Separatists as well as the collapse of the Republic sourcebooks for Star Wars RPG. I'll be starting this video with a brief overview, and then we're going to take a look at everything inside of Rise of the Separatists as well as everything inside of Collapse of the Republic, and then at the end I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. And the goal of this video is to equip you with the knowledge you need to decide on whether or not these sourcebooks are right for you. If you do decide to purchase one or both of these books, consider using one of the Amazon affiliate links down in the description below. It actually helps support the channel. And really quick, I want to give a thanks to the sponsor of today's video, the Patreon supporters. Y'all's support are the reason why I can buy these $90 worth of books, review them, as well as you guys voted on this video. So thanks. I'm really excited to dive into this, and I hope you guys are too. So these books give you all of the context and the content that you need to run a Clone Wars campaign. As you can imagine, Rise of the Separatists is going to cover the first half of the Clone Wars, and then Collapse of the Republic is going to cover the last half of the Clone Wars, as well as a little bit after. Each one has an intro to the book that lets you know how to use it with various core rulebooks or a combination of them, as well as how to maybe stat your starting characters and more. And then both books have 4 chapters. For both of these books, the first chapter is going to be for your new careers, your new species, new specializations, and so forth. The second chapter is going to be full of your new ships, your new gear, your new weapons, new armor, and so forth. Chapter 3 is going to be generally your galactic knowledge, what's happening in the galaxy at that moment, as well as info on specific planets. And then chapter 4 differs for both of them, so we'll get there when we get there. So let's go take a look at these books. So jumping into Rise of Separatists, chapter 1, we have Heroes of the Republic. This is mostly just going to be character creation stuff. We have 4 new species. We have clones, Kaminoans, Geonosans, and Umbarans. And then there will be new careers, which we have the Clone Soldier, as well as the Jedi. And these specializations are going to be Clone Pilot, Clone Trooper, Clone Officer, Jedi Knight, and Jedi Padawan. The book also includes 4 universal specializations: the Force-Sensitive Outcast, the Republic Navy Officer, the Republic Representative, as well as the Scavenger. The book comes with 1 new skill, Knowledge Warfare, and then Lightsaber is a new skill if you're playing in not Force and Destiny. And as usual, these specializations have talents, and so you can find a list of these here in the book. Rise of the Separatist also has the Force powers Bind and Enhance, which both of these can be found in Force and Destiny already, as well as Enhance is also in the Age of Rebellion book. Next up is Chapter 2, Weapons of War. The first few pages of this chapter cover a lot of different weapons that the Republic would commission to clones, and the new weapons total out to 4 ranged weapons, 5 explosives, and 3 melee weapons. Then there are 3 lightsaber options, one of which, the training lightsaber, is unique to this book, but there are also 2 entries for lightsaber hilts specifically. And then there are 9 new armor options with Jedi and clone options in there, as well as a few others. And then there are 8 new gear and equipment items, from aqua breathers to lightsaber maintenance kits, a few demolition items, and more. And then we have 7 weapon attachments, 5 lightsaber attachments, and 4 armor attachments. And lastly, this chapter ends up with a big section on new vehicles. It starts off with some prequel era vehicles and speeders and walkers, such as the AAT-1 hover tank from the Phantom Menace that we see like the droids come out of, to the Hailfire tank that we see in Attack of the Clones, or even the LAAT clone transport ship. There are a total of 6 new vehicles in this book, and then there are 13 new Clone Wars era starships, ranging from the Jedi Starfighter all the way to the Venator. Moving on to chapter 3, we have the Spark of War. This chapter opens up with an entire section on the prelude to the Clone Wars, and then another section on roughly the first half of the Clone Wars. Then there is a section on the Republic with literally anything you could ever want to know about the Senate and how the Republic operates. There's so much information here. Then there's a section for the Republic, which covers everything you could possibly want to know, from the office of the Chancellor to their judicial department, the vast bureaucracy, the Senate, which has so many factors to it, the Jedi Order, and the Republic military. And within this section, you can also find stats for Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Padme. Now, the Republic section is followed by a section on the Separatists, which most of it is covering their Congress and military, but it also has some stats for Dooku, Ventress, and Grievous. And then the last section of Chapter 3 is Worlds at War, which covers information for the planets Geonosis, Kamino, Naboo, and Tatooine. Each of these 4 planets also has a modular encounter that you can insert into your campaign or session. Tatooine and Geonosis also come with stats for some minions, the Tusken Raiders, Jawas, a labor droid, and a Geonosan warrior. And the final chapter of the book is Chapter 4, Clone Clone Wars campaigns. The first section of this chapter is pretty much information on how to incorporate the source books to each core rulebook, or by using a combination of the core rulebooks. Then there are sections for how to use recurring villains in your campaigns, and then even some information for running large battles and squad and squadron battles, which is not the same as the mass combat rules in Ages of Rebellion. I'm not going to cover that in depth here. You'll have to get the book and read through it, but it's really, really cool stuff. And lastly, there's going to be some adversaries for some various clone types, to senators, to a bunch of different droids. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in Rise of the Separatists. So let's now take a look at Collapse of the Republic. If you're finding this video helpful though, please do me a favor and blast that like button. So chapter 1, Soldiers and Politicians, which again is just character creation stuff. We have 4 species: the Clone, the Dathomirian, the Carcharodon, and the Heart. Clone does appear again, so if you get both books, then there are a total of 7 new species. Careers are still going to be Clone Soldier and the Jedi, but this time with differing specializations. We'll have the ARC Trooper, Clone Commander, Clone Veteran, Jedi General, and Jedi Master. This book also has 4 new universal specializations. We have the Death Watch Warrior, the Night Sister, the Senator, and the Separatist Commander. And then new skills again are Knowledge Warfare and Lightsaber. New talents that you can find in those new specializations. Where the other book had force powers, this one has signature abilities, which are add-ons for the Clone Soldier and Jedi careers. Pretty much when the player owns the entire bottom row of a career specialization tree, they can then purchase the Jedi signature ability tree or the Clone Soldier signature ability tree. These abilities are powerful active abilities that can be upgraded similarly to how force powers are upgraded. Next up we have chapter 2, Tools of Destruction. Again, this covers gear, weapons, ships, whatnot. There are 9 new weapons, mostly various blasters, but there is also a Night Sister energy bow. That's awesome. One of these 9 weapons is also in the other book. There are 4 melee weapons and 3 lightsaber entries. Again, only one is unique, the Saber Cane, though this one has hilt options for all 3. And there are 7 unique armor items, from Phase 2 clone armor to Jedi armor to Mandalorian armor and more. I'm intentionally not showing you guys every page. I don't want to give away this book. If you want it, you'll have to buy it. And then this book has 8 new gear items, from jetpacks and rocket boots to aqua suits. And there are 6 new weapon attachments, and 3 lightsaber attachments, one of which will overlap with the other book. There are also 6 new unique armor attachments. For vehicles, this book has 9 options. As far as I can tell, the LAAT is the only thing that overlaps. And then there are 11 starships, everything from a droid bomber to the subjugator. Chapter 3, The Galaxy at War, will cover information for the latter half of the Clone Wars, with tons of info covering the state of the Republic, the Separatist struggle, the criminal underworld, and even Dark Side Ascendant, with info and stats on Maul, Savage Press, and even Mother Talzin. These sections also have stats for Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker, Admiral Trench, Aurra Sing, and Cad Bane. And then next, the chapter gets into planets during the Clone Wars. They have Coruscant, Dathomir, Felucia, Kashyyyk, Mandalore, and Utapau. Again, each has a modular encounter, and there are stats for enemies and NPCs like the Jungle Rancor, Felucians, Webweavers, Tyrantex, Racing Dactylians, and Racing Varactyl. Hope I pronounced all those right. Chapter 4, Battle Across the Stars, is where you can find info on the last days of the Republic, as well as sections on playing with experienced player characters, dealing with death, betrayal, and morality, as well as info for after the war is over, and again, some more info on mass combat. And then just like the other book, this one ends off with a list of adversaries, from clones to Jedi Temple Guards to Padawans to criminals and bounty hunters and separatist droids. So now that you know of everything that is in the books, what is my opinion of them? At this point, it should really come as no surprise that both of these books are amazing, as well as the art alone is just, it's so good. Despite having a couple areas where the books slightly overlap with each other, or the Force and Destiny book, I still think these are well worth it if you plan to run a Clone Wars campaign. And the great thing is, if you don't have the $90 to spend up front, you can always buy Rise of the Separatists first and then save up until your players get to the point in the campaign where they need to switch into the later half of the war. The book does have some stuff that could be really cool for non-Clone Wars campaigns, but I don't think I can justify the $45 or $90 price tag if that's not what you're going to specifically use it for. If you do plan to utilize the Clone Wars setting, then 100% is worth it. If this also isn't obvious by now, these reviews are more or less just equipping you with the information that you need on whether or not these books are right for you. each of the source books covers specific things, and if that's what you're looking for, then generally, as far as I'm aware, all the books are fantastic. Hopefully this video has equipped you with the knowledge on whether or not this purchase is right for you, and if it is, consider using one of the Amazon affiliate links down in the description. The channel receives a portion of those profits and would be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions at all, drop them down in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. And if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and blast that like button. And if you wish to see weekly Star Wars RPG content, consider subscribing. Again, a huge thanks to the Patreon subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to do videos like this. You are very, very greatly appreciated. And thanks to everybody else for watching. I will see you guys next week with another video. I'm really excited. It's a new series. Can't wait for you to see it. But until then, and as always, may the Force be with you. Oh hey, one more thing. I actually interviewed one of the writers of these Clone Wars books with my last video, so I'm gonna put a card up in one of the spots on the screen. So go click that. It's a good video. It's like 40 minutes of awesome, entertaining information, and I think you'll enjoy it. So yeah, see you next time. Yeah, just right here, I think. Maybe here. I don't know. It's one of those places. Yeah. Okay. Bye. See ya.